10 isekai slash reincarnation manga all about revenge that you definitely need to read. In no particular order, coming in at number 10 is going to be An Avenger's Second Chance at Life in Another World. Now this one starts off all about revenge and then kind of quickly loses that, but it still has some revenge in it, and I think it's a decent read. So the story starts off with our main character in a warehouse, and he immediately had just killed a bunch of baddies. And the reason for that is because a couple years prior, they had kidnapped, abused, and murdered his sister. So he spent the rest of his life trying to find out where they were, who they are, and he found it, and he murdered them, and he got his revenge. And that's all in the first chapter. And after that point, he decides that he no longer wants to live, he's gonna kill himself, and as soon as he does that, he gets isekai'd without a truck to another world. And in this other world, his main focus isn't really as much as revenge as it is finding his little sister, the one that had died. His rationale is that if he got reincarnated, she might have also got reincarnated. So the story focuses on him and his big-titted guide as they go through the world looking for his sister. And it's kind of like your stereotypical isekai. He's overpowered, he can see people's stats, he has the power of a hero from another world, a goddess sent him over. The only real differences are this one is a lot darker in overall tone and some of the stories that it tells. So if you enjoy the stereotypical isekais but want something a little bit more darker, then this is definitely a really good read. Coming in at number 9 is going to be Redo of the Healer. Now this one is kind of controversial with all the themes that it tends to tackle, but I still think it's a pretty good read if you just want something that's about a main character completely unhinged, trying his best to get his revenge on the people that had wronged him. Now if you've never heard of Redo of the Healer, I'll give you a little quick summary. Our main character was considered a hero, and he was the healing hero. He had the power and the dominance to heal anything and everybody, but he was also not good at fighting because he was so good at being a healer. And because of this, the kingdom took advantage of him and abused him mentally and physically, and probably other ways that haven't even been invented yet whenever they got the chance. And eventually it got to the point where he was able to use his power to transfer himself back in time into his previous body. So it's kind of not much a reincarnation as it is time travel, but I'm gonna let it slide. So sending himself back in time with all of his knowledge of his previous life, he immediately jumps right into his revenge, and man, his revenge goes hard. Lots of titties, lots of blood and gore, lots of RAPEs. This main character is completely unhinged, lots of brainwashing, and then they become like sex slaves kind of in a way. This story kind of goes hard either in a good or bad way, but if you want a completely unhinged main character that has like really no moral compass and is just wanting to get his revenge, then definitely give this one a read. But if you do not like really dark themes, then stay far away from this one. Coming in at number 8 is going to be, God, I hope I pronounced this right, Ubel Blatt. Now this is definitely one of my favorite mangas of all time, but the reason I couldn't put it higher on the list is because it's not really a reincarnation one, but similar to Redo of the Healer, it kind of is, so I'm gonna let it slide. So the story revolves around our main character. He was chosen as one of the heroes to go help the kingdom and stop the incoming invasion. But on their way there, 7 of the heroes got cold feet and got scared and backed out of the plan, while only 4 heroes continued on and were able to succeed. On their way back, all the heroes met up, and the 7 heroes, deciding that they didn't want the real information to get out, killed the 4 heroes and labeled them as the 4 lances of betrayal, while the heroes returned back to the kingdom being labeled as the 7 heroes. Now our main character was one of the 4 heroes that was killed, but as he lay there dying, he was able to revive himself because of the body of a fairy. So he kind of does get reincarnated. It's kind of like the same body but reincarnated, but with his new body, his goal is revenge. He wants to get revenge on the 7 people that had killed him and his friends, and he stops at nothing to get it. Now this manga is great because the main character literally doesn't have like, ooh, I'm not gonna kill you, I'm gonna spare you. No, he goes hard. There is a lot of emotion, there's a lot of fight scenes, there's a lot of sex scenes. This manga is amazing and definitely one of the best mangas that I've ever read. The whole goal of our main character is to get his revenge and to set the record straight, to let the world know what had really happened. So if you want a story about a main character that's willing to push himself to get his revenge and also have some sex every now and then, it's not like all over the place, like it makes a lot of sense when it does happen. Definitely check out this manga. Like I said, it's one of my favorite mangas of all time. Coming in at number 7, we have A Neat's Guide to a Parallel World. This one kind of follows more of your stereotypical isekai. In the previous world, our main character was constantly harassed and bullied by everybody else, so he decides to take his life. As he took his life, that's when everybody else got isekai'd, and everybody in this new world got a new cool power, and he was given the power of healer. Now, for some reason in isekais, they all see healer as the worst. In my opinion, like, you definitely want a healer, man, if you never played a game. But because they think he has one of the worst classes, the king decides to get rid of him, transport him to a very far away place. Everybody thinks that he's gonna die, but nay, he survived and is down for his revenge and is willing to go out and get it, and doesn't care who gets in his way, and ends up becoming extremely powerful because, of course, he has the healer title. He can heal. Why do people always think this is such a shitty skill? Now, there's nothing really too remarkable about this. It's kind of more along the lines of guy got bullied, standard isekai, healing ability, wants his revenge. Also, this story has the harem tag, so there's that to look forward to. Coming in at number 6 is going to be the Dark Massacre of a Vengeful Hero. Now this one falls more along the lines of Redo of the Healer in a way that it's just dark. Dude, it's just our main character getting revenge on everybody in the most sadistic ways possible. This manga is just like a straight gore fest. But the story revolves around our hero. After being the savior of the world, he immediately gets turned on by everybody. The kingdom, the princess, his friends, everybody immediately turns on him so they can kill him. But because of all that hatred he had against the people that had betrayed him, he was able to get revived. And now he's out for revenge. And oh boy, does he get it. I'm not just talking like 1 or 2 people. Like there's like a list of people that he's out to get. And he gets his revenge in the most sadistic ways possible. This guy is so overpowered that no one can stop him at this point, and he literally can do whatever he wants. And kind of a spoiler alert, if you really care about the story, I mean, the story is not really too great. If you really just want to see like Revenge Fest 2022, check this out. But he's so dedicated to his revenge, he lets himself die so he could take this other chick to hell. I'm not even joking you. He wants revenge so bad that one of the people that had wronged him, he lets himself get killed so he can take this chick to hell. That's a thing that happens. It's awesome. So story-wise, it's all right, but revenge-wise, 10 out of 10. Coming in at number 5 is going to be Dungeon Seeker. Now, the only bad part about this one is the manga, I believe, is over and the light novel has not been updated in a long time. And that's a real shame because I really enjoyed this manga. It was very, very dark and really realistic. Like, this is how things would actually happen if people really did get isekai'd. I say as isekai is not a thing, and I completely just made that up. Our story revolves around our main character who is, of course, in the previous world, constantly bullied and only has really one childhood friend. And of course, his class gets isekai'd into the new world, and they all get some cheats, they all get some special powers. Unfortunately, some people don't, and our main character was one of the people that didn't get some special powers, and he is literally weaker than majority of people in this new world. So after getting tricked into a very deadly labyrinth by his one and only childhood friend, who eventually betrays him in TR style, he's able to survive. And not only survive, he is able to grow and get more powerful through sheer will and determination. He doesn't have any special cheat abilities. He goes hard only for his revenge. That is his only power, is his desperate need for revenge. And he is willing to stop at nothing to get it. And like I said, this new world is very, very dark. A lot of people take advantage of other people, if you know what I mean. And the stronger the people are, it's not like the nicer they are. It's not like, oh, they're the heroes. The stronger the people they are, the more likely they're going to take advantage of everybody around them. The new world is actually really interesting compared to a lot of other isekais you would read. And the main character is all about revenge, and there's titties flopping, and he uses a gun, which is pretty badass. We're very pro that here, so put this one on your list right now. Coming in number 4 is going to be Rising of the Shield Hero. If you haven't heard of this one, where have you been living? This like dominated everybody's life for like a year. But our main character is one of the 4 people summoned into this new world, and they are all given these legendary hero statuses. He, of course, is given the title of the Shield Hero, which everyone for some reason sees as the weakest and just like, you know what, we don't need him, so let's just fuck him over, which never makes any sense to me. But he gets betrayed by the bitch princess, and all the other heroes immediately take the kingdom's side, so he gets thrown out, and now he's on his warpath for revenge while also trying to save the world, which he really doesn't have an option in. And this manga is really good at the start, and then it quickly just devolves into your standard isekai adventures, and I don't really like it at that point. Like the beginning, they started off really, really strong, and even the anime season 1 started off prime tier. And I feel like they kind of dropped the ball into just falling into your stereotypical isekai adventures. At some point, the main character just becomes your stereotypical isekai guy, being way too goody-goody, even though he pretends like he's not. But it's still a good read. But if you're looking for like revenge specifically, it kind of drops the ball pretty fast. Coming in number 3, one of the best reads I've ever had, the executed sage who was reincarnated as a lich and started an all-out war. So the story starts off immediately with our main character and his love interest immediately getting killed. They were the heroes of this world. They were some of the strongest people out there. And once they defeated the Demon King, the kingdom immediately turned on them and said, hey, you're too powerful to be left alive. Like, you're a danger. We gotta kill you. So the main character and his love interest immediately get killed and fall into this deep abyss. While there, our main character reincarnates as a skeleton and for 10 years is down in that abyss, slowly gathering strength until he's able to rise with his skeleton army and get his revenge on the people that had wronged him and his girl. From here on out, our main character's entire goal is getting revenge on the people that had wronged him and creating a peaceful world for everybody to live in. And his way to do that is kind of like the old school like Cold War situation. Like, hey, we all have a common enemy, and that was his goal. He wants to be the new Demon King, so that way humanity would have to unite against him, but he's going to be so powerful that they can't fully destroy him, but they still need to unite and stop bickering and fighting with each other, so that way they can all have a common enemy. And that's his goal, and the way he's going to do that is by showing the world that he means business and killing a bunch of people. So it's not like this guy's like, ooh, I'm gonna pretend to be bad guy. No, he kills a lot of people, like women, children, anybody that gets in his way, he's gonna kill them, because for him, the ends justify the means. So this story, definitely very, very gory, definitely very, very dark. A lot of people are gonna die. No titties. The only complaint that I have, no titties flopping around, but the story itself makes up for it. Our main character doubts himself occasionally about killing civilians, but he gets over it pretty quick. Coming in at number 2 is going to be, I can never pronounce this dude, Arifureta from Commonplace to World's Strongest. I'm pretty sure everyone has heard about this. The anime, I think, is in like, what, season 2 or 3, and is really, really good. I've read the entire light novel and the entire manga, and definitely one of my favorite isekais in general. But it starts off stereotypically, class gets transported to a new world. Some people have really strong abilities, and some people are not that useful whatsoever, and our main character happens to be one of them. And after going into the dungeon and getting betrayed by one of his classmates and falling deep into the dungeon and almost completely dying by getting his arm torn off and getting killed by all the monsters that live in this dungeon, he's able to muster the strength up and survive, you know, thanks to a little help of the birth-giving water that he found. But he's able to use his own power to crawl deeper into the dungeon and survive on his own until he finds his vampire lolly love interest. And from here on out, it's him just building up his harem, getting stronger and stronger, and trying to find a way to get back to his own world and to get revenge on the gods that put him into this world. Our main character isn't really as interested in getting revenge on the classmates as much as he is the people that had transported them to this world. So that is his whole driving factor, to get stronger and stronger so he can go back to his old world, bring his harem with him, and get revenge on these shitty gods that rule over this world. The only complaint I have with this manga is he goes a little too easy on his former classmates, but other than that, great read. Coming in at number 1 is going to be he sneered during his second time as the hero as he treaded the path of revenge. Now, I haven't read the manga as much as I've read the light novel, and I really enjoy the light novel. Our main character, standard isekai protagonist, gets summoned to another world, is the hero, defeats the demon lord. That's when everything Will Smith style twist turns around upside down. He immediately gets betrayed and killed by the people that he thought he could trust. And as soon as he whispers his last breath that he's going to kill all of them, his eyes close and he dies, and that's when he hears a message, tutorial mode has ended, and he comes back again. And this time he is out for straight revenge, and revenge is what he does. The second he gets summoned, he immediately goes into rage mode and starts immediately going to town, hitting, punching, and just beating the shit out of anybody and everybody he can. But at this point in time, he's not as powerful as he was, and that's when he runs into our other protagonist, our main love interest, who is also out for revenge. I mean, who doesn't love a sadistic bunny girl? What's there not to love? So these two bond over their mutually terrible past and just need for revenge, and that's what they go for. But the good thing about this manga is the main character isn't like incredibly overpowered. He is still kind of the hero, but he still has to get back and earn all those powers. So it's not like he can just immediately get his revenge and now, oh, hey, look, now we have to go save the world or something like that. But the only real complaints that I have about this manga is, number 1, the art style. I'm not a fan of this kind of art style. I don't know what it is about it. It's not a huge fan. And number 2, the manga is currently on hiatus. So who knows when we'll get another chapter. This manga has not been updated in like 2 or 3 years. So hopefully we get some more updates. But if you read the manga and really enjoy it, check out the light novel. The light novel is also very, very good. So those are going to be 10 isekai/revenge mangas that you need to read before the end of the year. So check them out. That's going to be it. Let me know which one's your guys' favorite down below in the comments. Peace.